Welcome, Class 9 students, to an exciting journey into the world of plant reproduction. Today, we are diving deep into what happens after a flower is fertilized, focusing on post-fertilization, seed formation, fruit development, and seed dispersal. We'll explore how tiny ovules become life-giving seeds and ovaries transform into delicious fruits. We'll start with the basics, then move to medium, hard, and finally, the hardest levels, uncovering the incredible science behind plant propagation. Let's begin. Ready to unravel the first layer of this fascinating topic? Our easy level will introduce you to the fundamental concepts of how plants create their next generation after fertilization. It's all about seeds, fruits, and how they spread. After a flower is successfully fertilized, a remarkable transformation begins. The tiny ovule, which contains the fertilized egg, starts its journey to become a seed. At the same time, the surrounding ovary begins to swell and develop, eventually forming the fruit. Meanwhile, other parts of the flower, like the colorful petals, the stamens, and sometimes even the sepals, have completed their role. They usually wither, dry up, and fall away, leaving the developing fruit and seeds to grow and mature. This entire process is a crucial step in the plant's life cycle, ensuring the continuation of its species. So, what exactly is inside these new structures? A seed is like a perfectly packed survival kit. It contains a miniature, undeveloped plant, called an embryo, along with a supply of stored food to nourish this baby plant when it starts to grow. This precious package is encased in a tough, protective outer layer known as the seed coat, which shields it from harm. Fruits, on the other hand, are the ripened ovaries. Their primary function is to protect these valuable seeds as they mature. But fruits have another vital role. They help in seed dispersal, which means spreading the seeds far and wide. This is super important because it prevents new plants from growing too close to their parent, reducing competition for essential resources like sunlight and water. Imagine a dandelion's fluffy seeds carried by the wind, or a coconut floating across the ocean. These are all examples of clever seed dispersal. Now that we've covered the basics, let's test your understanding with a few simple questions. What is the main role of a fruit in a plant's life? Which part of the flower develops into the seed after fertilization? And finally, why is seed dispersal important for plants? Think about the competition for resources and the survival of the plant species. Take your time to recall the key points we just discussed. Great job with the easy level. Now, let's step up our game and dive deeper into the intricate details of post-fertilization events, seed structure, fruit development, and the fascinating ways seeds travel. After fertilization, the floral parts undergo precise transformations. The ovary wall matures into the pericarp, which is the fruit wall, while the ovules integuments harden to form the protective seed coat. Inside, the zygote develops into the embryo, the future plant, and the primary endosperm nucleus forms the endosperm, a vital food source. Most other floral parts typically wither, their reproductive role fulfilled. This coordinated change ensures the protection and nourishment of the new generation. Seeds are marvels of biological engineering. Each seed encases an embryo, comprising a radicle for the future root, a plumule for the future shoot, and cotyledons for food storage or transfer. The tough seed coat guards against damage and desiccation. Many seeds also exhibit dormancy, a crucial survival mechanism that pauses growth until environmental conditions are optimal for germination. This allows plants to time their emergence, increasing their chances of survival and successful establishment. Fruits, the ripened ovaries, can be classified as true fruits, developing solely from the ovary, or false fruits, which include other floral parts. Hormones like auxins and gibberellins are key players, stimulating ovary growth and fruit ripening. Seed dispersal is vital for species survival, preventing overcrowding and competition with the parent plant, and allowing colonization of new habitats. It's carried out by various agents. Vine-dispersed seeds are light or winged, water-dispersed seeds are buoyant, and animal-dispersed seeds are either edible or have hooks to cling to fur. Some plants even use explosive mechanisms to scatter their seeds. Time to challenge your knowledge with 5 medium-level questions. Can you explain the transformation of the ovary and ovule after fertilization? Describe the main components of a seed and their functions. Differentiate between true and false fruits with an example. List 3 reasons why seed dispersal is important for plants. And finally, provide an example for each of the following dispersal methods: wind, water, and animals. Give it your best shot. You've mastered the medium concepts. Fantastic. Now, prepare to elevate your understanding as we delve into the hard level, exploring deeper analysis, physiological mechanisms, and evolutionary significance. At the hard level, we analyze the post-fertilization transformations in greater detail. The ovary wall differentiates into the pericarp, often with distinct epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp layers, determining the fruit's texture. The ovule's integuments form the seed coat, and the micropyle persists, crucial for water uptake during germination. The zygote develops into a complex embryo, while the primary endosperm nucleus forms the endosperm, which may or may not persist in the mature seed. Other floral parts typically abscise, though some may persist, showcasing the diversity in plant reproductive strategies. These intricate changes ensure robust protection and nourishment for the developing embryo. Let's look closer at seed anatomy and the critical process of germination. The seed coat, often marked by the hilum, protects the embryo. The micropyle, a tiny pore, is vital for water and gas exchange. The embryo itself consists of the radicle, plumule, and cotyledons, which either store food or absorb it from the endosperm. Germination, the awakening of the embryo, requires precise conditions, sufficient water, optimal temperature, and oxygen. Some seeds also have specific light requirements. The evolutionary advantages of seeds and fruits are immense. Seeds offer protection, nourishment, and dormancy, enabling survival and dispersal, while fruits further enhance dispersal and safeguard the developing seeds until they are ready to embark on their own journey. Pericarp differentiation gives rise to various fruit types, from fleshy drupes and berries to dry dehiscent or indehiscent fruits, each adapted for specific dispersal strategies. The evolutionary success of angiosperms is largely attributed to the development of seeds and fruits. Seeds provide a protected, nutrient-rich package for the embryo, enabling dormancy and efficient dispersal. Fruits further enhance this by attracting dispersers or facilitating abiotic dispersal. Specialized adaptations, like wings for vine dispersal, buoyant coverings for water, and hooks or edible pulp for animal dispersal, highlight the incredible diversity and efficiency of nature's reproductive engineering. These mechanisms have allowed plants to colonize nearly every terrestrial environment. Now, let's tackle 7 challenging questions for the hard level. Explain the fate of the various floral parts after fertilization. Describe the key anatomical features of a typical dicot seed and their functions. Differentiate between endospermic and non-endospermic seeds with examples. Discuss the evolutionary advantages conferred by the development of seeds and fruits. Classify fruits based on their pericarp differentiation, providing examples for each type. Explain the conditions necessary for seed germination. And finally, describe the specialized adaptations for animal dispersal, distinguishing between endozookery and epizookery. Good luck! Congratulations on making it to the hardest level. Here, we'll delve into the cutting-edge aspects of post-fertilization biology, exploring hormonal intricacies, advanced reproductive strategies, and the profound ecological and evolutionary implications of seed and fruit dynamics. Prepare for a truly in-depth exploration. At this advanced level, we understand that fruit and seed development are precisely orchestrated by plant hormones. Auxins stimulate ovary growth, while gibberellins boost fruit size, often used in agriculture to enhance yield. Cytokinins regulate cell division in developing seeds, and ethylene controls fruit ripening, triggering a cascade of biochemical changes. Abscisic acid is crucial for inducing and maintaining seed dormancy, acting as a natural brake on germination. This hormonal interplay ensures that development is synchronized with environmental conditions, optimizing reproductive success. Understanding these mechanisms allows us to manipulate plant growth for agricultural benefits. Seed dormancy is not just a simple pause but a complex survival strategy. It can be exogenous, due to physical barriers like a tough seed coat, or endogenous, involving internal embryo conditions or chemical inhibitors. Overcoming dormancy requires specific environmental cues or treatments. Scarification mechanically or chemically breaks the seed coat, while stratification involves exposure to cold or warm moist periods. Leaching removes inhibitory chemicals. These mechanisms prevent premature germination, ensuring seedlings emerge when conditions are optimal, maximizing survival and enabling seeds to endure harsh periods or travel long distances. This biological engineering ensures the timing of life. Beyond typical sexual reproduction, plants employ fascinating alternative strategies. Parthenocarpy, the development of seedless fruits without fertilization, occurs naturally in some species or can be induced, a boon for fruit consumption. Apomixis, a form of asexual reproduction, allows seeds to form without meiosis or fertilization, effectively creating clones of the mother plant. This ensures the perpetuation of desirable traits. Ecologically, dispersal syndromes are products of coevolution, shaping plant distribution and genetic diversity. For instance, the coevolution of fleshy fruits and frugivores drives seed dispersal, influencing forest regeneration and ecosystem structure. Adaptive radiation, where organisms diversify to fill ecological niches, is often driven by the evolution of novel dispersal mechanisms, allowing colonization of new habitats and subsequent speciation. Human interaction profoundly impacts seed dispersal. Through agriculture, we've become the primary dispersers of crop seeds, shaping global food systems. However, unintentional human dispersal also facilitates invasive species, disrupting native ecosystems. Climate change further complicates dispersal patterns, altering environmental cues and shifting species ranges. Understanding these complex dynamics is crucial for conservation, from establishing seed banks to managing invasive species and predicting future plant distributions. This intricate web of biological, ecological, and human factors underscores the profound significance of post-fertilization processes in sustaining life on Earth and adapting to an ever-changing world. Alright, for the first 5 of our hardest level questions, get ready to think deeply. Discuss the roles of auxins, gibberellins, and abscisic acid in fruit and seed development. Explain two distinct mechanisms of seed dormancy and how they can be broken. Differentiate between parthenocarpy and apomixis, providing an example for each. Analyze the concept of coevolution in the context of seed dispersal, using a specific example. And finally, explain how seed dispersal mechanisms can drive adaptive radiation in plant species. Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. Continuing with our hardest level questions, let's tackle the next 5. Discuss the ecological significance of various dispersal syndromes on plant distribution and genetic diversity. How do human activities, both intentional and unintentional, influence global seed dispersal patterns? Describe the engineering challenges plants overcome to achieve successful seed dispersal in extreme environments. Explore the potential implications of climate change on existing seed dispersal strategies and plant migration. And finally, considering the advantages and disadvantages, evaluate the evolutionary success of apomixis compared to sexual reproduction in plants. These questions require critical thinking and synthesis of advanced concepts. Good luck! And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of post-fertilization events, from seed formation and fruit development to the incredible strategies of seed dispersal. I hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the intricate processes that allow plants to reproduce and thrive. Remember, learning doesn't stop here. For more comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and interactive lessons, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and to continue your learning journey with us. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep growing. Thank you for joining us today.